Hello, welcome to our channel. Today I'm going to be working with some UV resins. I have the Cairo, and then I also have a little bit of the Norel, and then I also have colored ones that is Fun Showcase. These are just different colors and UV resins that I got off the internet. I'm not really sure if there's any specific kind that it's better than the next one, because this is going to be my first try at doing this. So we're just going to have some fun today and see how it works out. I also got the tape. It actually came with the UV resin when I bought it. It's just a single-sided tape. And as you can see, I've taken the bezels and taped them down so that the epoxy won't flow through. What I'm trying today is, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I thought, well, what the heck, I'm going to try it today. I just took some fabric and I just traced out the design that I want, where it's going to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of epoxy in each of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the fabric in there and then put epoxy on top. Like I said, I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but I thought it was kind of a cool idea. As you can see, I have different kinds of fabrics. I have this one that I haven't cut out yet. You can see that I've drawn a circle around it for the pattern that I want. I got all of these different types of bezels online. They're fairly reasonable. You can just get them from Amazon, and there's just all different styles and types, anything you would like to try. Same with the UV resin. Like I said, I don't know if I have a certain brand or a type, because I'm just trying this for the first time to see how this works out. I'm just cutting this one out. This is the last one I had to cut. I'm just cutting around my line. And then I'm going to try this fabric. I'm going to try a couple different items in it. I'm going to try to do maybe some glitter in here, maybe some gold leaf, just different, just be creative. That's one nice thing about crafting. You can do whatever you want, whatever strikes your fancy. I do have these little cheap UV lights. I got them online. I think they were like $20 a piece. And then same with the bezels, you know, they weren't anything expensive. Now, this bezel here, you have to watch, because I don't know if you can see that, but it's got, on the little loop, it goes past, it doesn't sit flush. So you have to make sure you pay attention to that and let that hang off the end a little bit, because if not, what happens is, and I found this out the hard way, is it lifts it up enough and the resin runs out. And as you can see on this one, you have to be careful with your tape, because I just made a mess on that one with my fabric, and I'm gonna have to redo this one. So I just usually take the tape, cut a little piece, stick it on there, and then take a little bit of tape and tape it down just to keep it from moving around. And you want to try to keep it as flat as possible. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed when I do the epoxy, sometimes the tape sticks a little bit to the back. I'm not sure if that's my tape that I'm using. This is the only type of tape that I use, but again, it came free with the kit. So I'm not really sure what the best tape is, but I have noticed sometimes that the tape does stick a little bit to the back of here, and I have to take a little bit of soap and clean it off. So first, starting off, what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna put base coat on these so that I have something to set my fabric on. I just kind of push it around, get it touching on all the areas. Because I don't want a real heavy coat on the bottom. I mainly just want the fabric so where it doesn't come through the back. And you will need your lighter to knock the bubbles out. And then I just put the UV light on it. It usually doesn't take too long to cure, and you can be doing your other ones while that's curing. Some of these I'm going to try to use the colored background on it, like the green ones. I'm going to use the green colored epoxy because I don't want that showing through. I'll put a little bit of green in that one. Now on this bezel, I don't think it's going to matter if it's got the green or the clear, so I'm just going to do clear. But again, you can see this bezel isn't flat, so I need to put it off the edge or else it's not going to lay flat on there like I want it to. And your epoxy will be off to one side. You always want to make sure you're working with a nice flat surface, if at all possible, because the epoxy will flow to the low side. And with this epoxy, you can also take it out and just let it sit in the sun. It does take up, it's set up to 4 hours. The only thing I have noticed with the epoxy, if I let it sit out in the sun, because I did try that when I first started this, is if you use alcohol ink, it will fade the alcohol ink out. It lightens it up. I'm not sure why. I wouldn't think that the sun would be that much stronger than the UV light, but it is. It will, you will notice that it does fade out the alcohol ink if you put that in your epoxy. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're wanting to just do it by sunlight. But it does work. It does harden it. But instead of the so many seconds, it will take about 4 hours to harden. I will speed this along as I'm doing this base stuff here because this does take time for starting off. So we'll speed it up from here. Okay, welcome back. So now I have a nice coat of epoxy on all the bottoms of these. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of epoxy in there to hold it. And then I'm going to put a coat on top. That should be pretty cute. Rub it, make sure it's all down in there good and solid. I don't want it popping up while the epoxy's curing. Now, if you want, at this stage, you can put some sparkles, you know, some glitter or some beads or whatever kind of suits your fancy. I think on this one, I'm just going to leave it plain like this. I don't think I'm going to add anything to him. Make sure I get all the bubbles out of there. I don't think I quite had enough epoxy in there, so make sure I get that all. Make sure I get that fabric all covered. I don't want it popping back up through. All right, pop the bubbles one last time. I don't know, I think I might put just a little glitter around the edges. Make him look a little like he's snowy around the edges. This is just some glitter I got from Amazon. That's where I bought most of my supplies, is Amazon. Make his beard a little snowier. All right, and I think he's ready to go underneath the light. Okay, welcome back. So now I have all different, I just went through all of my different drawers and junk. I have some little like steampunked gears that I'm going to try in this bezel. I found a couple of shells, and I'm going to use the different colored epoxy to do something with the shells. I'm also just going to take the different bezels and use different colors and add just whatever I like. I have some little rubber bands here. I have some little things that you can use for, I mean, they're actually for fingernails, but they're really tiny, so they work perfectly in these little bezels. I also have some little fruit and little designs of foam that I'm going to put in there. And I'm just going to try a little bit of everything. I have some rainbow sprinkles. I've seen that, and I always thought that looked kind of cute. So let's get started. See? So there's this side or that side. So again, it's just your personal preference as to what you like, don't like. And there's that one. I think that one turned out really well. I'm happy with that because it almost looks like a little heart in the middle where I swirled it. So I'm real happy with how that turned out. This is with the 2 colors of resin, and then I just stuck some of those little foam flowers in there. And then this is with the resin with the little animals. I think that turned out real cute. There's just different animals in there. And again, if you like that side better, flip it over and use that side. So that's one nice thing about the resin. You can, you know, use either side, make it however. It is your option on what you like to do. So welcome back. So I've got all of the epoxy things cleaned up and laid out here. I will go over everything we did. Like I said, the great thing about crafting, and I know I probably go a little fast, but I like to try different things, so I kind of just go with the flow. But as you can see, and I'll show you here, there's so many different ways to do this. It's your own choice, your own option, and you never know what they're going to turn out like. There's a few of them here that I'm not real impressed with, but other ones I'm really happy with, and I'm really surprised how they turned out. So let's have a look at them. Okay, so these here are the ones I did with the flowers. And you can see I used mica powder on some of them. I used just the coloring, different colored epoxy. I think that one's my favorite, this one right here, out of all of them. But you can see how they all turned out just a little differently, but they're all beautiful. And then down here was the fabric. I had never done the fabric before, so I really wasn't sure how those were going to turn out, but I'm real happy with how these turned out. Here is my earrings that I did with just the little piece of thin fabric, the lace. And then these are the ones I really don't like them, but they are what they are. They turned out, and I tried to do them with a little piece of lace. Maybe I shouldn't have colored them, but again, you know, trial and error. There's ones with the seashells. And I just took and drilled a little hole in here and put a little eyelet on this, so it will make a nice necklace or something to hang in the window. And then here are the ones with the glitter. Now once the epoxy dried good, you can see on here, I actually did some water slide I had picked up from a garage sale, and so I just stuck those water slides on there just because I thought they'd be cute, give them a little more personality. There's some that I just stuck some odds and ends gears in, and in this one there's buttons, there's rubber bands, candies, I mean just all kinds of stuff. And this was my favorite out of this one. I really like how that one turned out. And that was just putting 2 different colors together. And then I think my favorite above all are how these alcohol ink and there we go, that's better. Alcohol ink and aluminum foil. I mean, very simple, but you can see the depth in them. And I have to say, these are one of my favorites that I've made so far. I'm not sure how good you can see the coloring in here, but there's so much depth, and I'm real impressed with those. Okay, as you can see, I've showed you everything that I've done in the last 2 days. It's been a lot of fun. I've tried a lot of different mediums, a different, you know, fabric, buttons, flowers, mica powder. I love to try different things. I never know how they're going to turn out. So to me, that's part of the joy of crafting, is I'm not really sure what I'm going to get when I'm finished. Like I said, there's 1 or 2 that I'm not really impressed with, but for the most part, I'm happy with how they all turned out. most of my items I do buy on Amazon, but I do get a lot of like the fabric, the shells, the buttons, just little knick-knack stuff. I got all of that from garage sales. So that's definitely an avenue to look at if you're wanting to start doing this and, you know, trying to keep it on a budget. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed doing it. Please hit like and subscribe and share with your friends. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know below. And have a great day. Thank you.